Her name is Mariana Corwitz, and she has developed software that will help parents find the best name for their child by grading names based on their associations with health, finance, jobs, and success. I thought those were interesting criteria by which to grade a name. Health, finances, success. I mean, why does she not evaluate names on the basis of something like faithfulness, or integrity, or even courage? But that's the way of the world, I guess. Someone has said, somewhere along the way, we Americans stopped naming our children Charity or Grace, and we started naming them Tiffany. And we never stopped to ask ourselves why. Well, names are important in the Bible, too. Did you ever notice how biblical writers often go to great lengths to explain what people's names mean? For example, when God promised Abram that he would be the father of nations, God changed his name from Abram, which means father, to Abraham, which means the father of multitudes. At the same time, God changed Abram's wife's name to Sarah, which means princess, because she would be the mother of kings. You may remember that Sarah laughed at the news that she would bear a son in her old age. And so when her son was born, she named him Isaac, which means laughter. You could study names in the Bible for a very, very long time. Well, the writer of 1 John tells us this morning that we have been named children of God. This is our identity, bestowed upon us by our Father. Our Father has named us his children, and in doing so, he has declared to all the world that that is who we are. This naming is not merely a past event. Our writer emphasizes that this naming is an ongoing process. In verse 1, he uses the present perfect tense of the verb. See what love the Father has given us, indicating that this is an action that started in the past but continues into the present. See what love the Father has given us, that we should be called children of God, for that is what we are. Beloved, we are God's children now. God is continually calling us into being as his children, identifying us as his children, declaring to the world that we are his children. That is our name. That is our identity. That is who we are. Have you ever pray, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I don't think many people could do that if they were in Jesus' place. And perhaps that is why in 2006 we were so fascinated with an Amish community in Pennsylvania. Gunman Charles Carl Roberts went into a schoolhouse and shot 10 little girls. Killed 5 of them. And then he shot himself. It was horrific. There was no sense in it. There was no reason for it. And yet in the aftermath of that shooting, the Amish community not only forgave the shooter, but they also reached out to his family. An Amish neighbor comforted the Roberts family hours after the shooting and extended forgiveness to them. Amish community members visited and comforted Robert's widow and his parents in-law. One Amish man held Robert's father in his arms while the man sobbed